So today Bill and I are on our way to the canvas shop because we were like 80% of the way done with them, but we need to get the little connection piece made that goes between the two solar panels. They just kind of stopped answering our messages and calls, and they were getting ghosted. It's been too, oh, this place is so funny. Always laugh. It's like
It's a flower shop.
It's a flower shop. God. I love Mexico. In Mexico, it's like if you're not answering your calls or your messages, you just gotta go. So right now we happen to have a car. Demetrius has lent us his car for the day, so we're taking advantage and we're gonna go see if we can track these guys down. But I also wanted to just let you guys know that I have to go back up to Arizona today. I have 2 doctor's appointments this week, so I have one tomorrow. And it's just gonna be a short day for me. So I'm hoping to get back for the weekend. I'm waiting on another appointment and we'll see. But it's definitely a little bittersweet because, yeah, I'm gonna be leaving again. And
all by
it's coming
myself.
soon. I'm leaving in about an hour, so we're hoping to get as much done as we can.
Yep, it's windy today, so it's slowing me down on other projects, but
yeah,
doing some errands.
Always stuff to do. Back at this place again.
Okay.
Oh my god! Why does Mexico have the cutest dogs in the world?
Pero necesito más canvas aquí.
We're working on completing the new arch system we built for Calico Skies, now in its final stages after over a month's time. Our sailboat is undergoing a pretty hefty refit here in Penasco, Mexico, which is conveniently located only a 4-hour drive from Phoenix, where I'll be heading soon for doctor's appointments related to a recent DCIS diagnosis.
Bye, guys.
I really hope the rest of your work goes really good. Yeah, and I might be coming I mean, it's 50-50.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Good to
Demetrius
see
is
you.
moving up the race.
We'll see you in Annapolis, I think. Probably next time we see you. Yeah.
Yeah, or unless you know, unless you feel like doing more
I can't pull
more boat work, we'll be here.
Come on, Ryan, join the club.
Fargo said, get your ass home. That's what it is.
Wait, you were just encouraging me.
That's right. Well,
Pull that Band-Aid off.
He didn't think he'd actually do it. That
Yeah.
was crazy.
What the hell were you thinking, dude? Somebody's got to have a job.
Bye, guys. I gotta get back in my hole.
Bye. Enjoy your hole.
Last night, we all got together with our dear friends on Delos so that I could say goodbye, since they'll be splashing soon and I'll be in the US. This is the house.
Yeah.
Ah. It's crazy that a chance meeting in the Ragged Islands during COVID would lead to 3 years of buddy boat traveling. There he goes. From the Bahamas to the top of Maine, down to Panama, through the canal, and eventually to Puerto Penasco. We've become a family. With the current state of my health, our courses are now diverging, but we are optimistic that it's not goodbye, but see you later.
Yeah.
Last night together.
When do you think you'll see Sierra again, honey?
You
think stop or strip it,
about it.
You saying bye to Grace tonight? Grace is going back to Phoenix tomorrow, Sierra, so you might see her. Nay, I know, but...
Obviously.
It's too much. Why do we do this to ourselves?
We were getting ready to dry fit the rudder today. We're trying to figure out the hull spacing, and this is where the rudder hangs off a fiberglass collar, and this is for the quadrant. So we're looking at the old one with the rust washer in place, and we're seeing how far that first hole is, and then we're gonna put on that, mark it on that new rudder, and then mark the quadrant, and kind of see if it all makes sense, like geometry-wise. Today we are working on preparing our new rudder for installation. We received the rudder several weeks ago, and we are finally in a position to install it. Our old rudder was approximately the same as the mold they had on hand. Every boat is slightly different, so Foss did not drill any of the holes required in the rudder stock. There are 2 bolts in the stock, one for a fiberglass collar that prevents the rudder from dropping out, and the other is there to secure the quadrant where the steering cables attach. Like exactly 1 foot. And these are 3 inches apart. I got it. Can you mark it? I got the rudder. We think here and here. Now that we approximated the position of the holes on the new rudder, it's time to once again lift the rudder into the boat and make sure our markings make sense from inside the steering compartment. But first we need to glue the outside thrust washer in place so we know exactly where the rudder will sit. So we are going to glue this thrust washer on. The key considerations, we want it to be flush with that so the surface is plumb, so then when they meet and touch. So we drop the rudder down just a little bit. We're going to clean up the, just clean it up with acetone so we have a good mating surface. And then we're going to glue it down and then just bring it back up so it goes against that. So you can see here, it's getting the stuffing box temporarily back in place. It's not, there's no stuffing in there. We're just doing a dry fit of the rudder. This is a fiberglass collar that the rudder hangs off of when it's out of the water, keeps it in the boat. There's obviously a little bit of float up and down, so there's like a thrust washer here and a thrust washer outside, which we glued in yesterday. That's good. So this fiberglass collar, it can only really go in one place on the boat, which is right on top of this bushing. So this was our best estimate, was the line is where we assumed this collar would go, and the circles are where it actually needs to sit when I have it locked down flush with the bushing. And I can't really dry fit the quadrant right now, but it has to just be 3 inches above those holes, which is what we measured, so I think that'll work. Now that everything is lined up inside the boat, it's time to take the rudder to a local machine shop. It'd be very difficult to drill through the thick metal rudder stock properly with the hand drill. This drill press would be way better than what we could do. I'm not really sure how we're going to block it up yet, but pretty cool machine shop. So the rudder is coming to the machine shop. This is an exciting moment. It's been like months. Top one. With the through bolts drilled by the machine shop, we return to the boatyard to once again lift the rudder into the boat. This time we can actually secure the rudder in the boat and also test the steering system. Okay, so the shaft is up for, I don't know, probably the 4th time today. I do have it through bolted on this bushing, so that's good. So yeah, she's hanging, because we have the one through bolt in. I'm pretty happy with the gap here. There's no play anymore. I'm going to start assembling back together the quadrant and find that through hole now. Through hole, find that through bolt. I'm also going to replace these, and I did cut myself pretty good somewhere on a meat hook in this cable, so this cable's going to get replaced too while I'm in here. It just makes sense. So I'm going to start reassembling. This is like a dry fit. Once we have it fitted, I got everything working, make sure the steering goes end to end, like 35 degrees to stop, which is this metal bar and this. This is what hits. I am then going to drop it back down so we can bottom paint it, but this is just to confirm that everything works and the new rudder fits and doesn't hit on anything. All right, do you want to try to spin it, Demetrius? Can you spin it? I'm holding up the quadrant. Okay, that's a stop. What does that look like, angle-wise?
Halfway to that, about 45 degrees.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be 35, but it hit the stop, so that's probably right. Yeah. Okay, you want to go the other way? Keep going. Yep, that's a stop too. Okay.
It's about equal.
Yeah, I would say like it's hitting the stops up here. Once I have the quadrant fully bolted in, I think it's gonna be fine. Like, I don't have the right angle on the quadrant and all that. It's just a little lopsided right now. And for our barrier coat to mix, it takes 15 minutes before you could add the thinner. And I measured out the thinner. This is for 1 gallon. It's 12 ounces. Yeah, just hurry up and wait. It's a lot of waiting for the barrier coat. The plan is today to get the hull done and 1 coat on the keel because we did some more fairing. But also we want to get as many barrier coats as possible on the rudder because we're going to do this and hopefully get some bottom paint on it, as well as the back edge there and here where we can't reach when the rudder's hanging, and then we're going to hang the rudder, so that's kind of done, and then we can just do the normal coats once this area is done and any hidden parts of the rudder. That's just so we could have it hung, and then we can start like really finalizing the installation of the cables and quadrants and all that stuff, just to have that peace of mind that the rudder's in the boat. So yeah, hopefully today things really start coming together. That'd be awesome. I don't know, pretty close to the edge here. We mangled and manhandled it. Nice and white now. Woohoo! So that is all 5 coats of barrier on the bottom now, as well as the rudder. We're just waiting for it to get tacky, so like the thumbprint test, if it leaves paint on your finger, it's not ready. We're gonna start putting on our first coat of bottom paint now. That should be pretty dramatic looking, so I'm excited for that. We are using Total Boat's Spartan multi-season ablative paint. We applied 2 coats of blue paint underneath what will eventually be a black bottom. We use 2 different colors so we can see when the layers have worn through as time passes. In total, we are applying 6 coats of bottom paint. Hopefully we won't have to haul Calico for a long time. So Brooke and Gary have our epoxy. It's kind of become like a yard communal epoxy. Everyone's always using it. We just have so much of it between all of us that we kind of share it. So walking over their boat now to grab it. Thanks, Gary. And thank you, Total Boat. So yesterday, we found the wood core in the hull here. We were about to 5200 in these through hulls, but when I acetone it, you can now see there's a wooden core here that I have to deal with. I can't just, in good faith, just glue this.
Here's the wood.
As opposed to this with the solid glass.
As opposed to this one.
So we could glue this one, we can't glue that one. We aren't sure if this transducer install is done by the factory or not, but whoever installed it did not appropriately seal the hull's balsa core. Our first step to make this right is to remove the core adjacent to the through hull so that we can create an epoxy plug, therefore removing the possibility that water can infiltrate the wood. I'm gonna do the whole circle around it. Today we're gonna go seal this up with a little bit of epoxy so we don't have any issues of rot if water were to get in there. So first I'm gonna paint it on neat, then I'm gonna thicken this up. This is kind of to seal the balsa core, basically making like marine grade plywood or something almost, you know, like. I think I made way too much epoxy, but whatever.
So how thick is the hull?
Like 3 or 4 inches here. It's pretty fat.
Pretty thick, yeah.
Yeah, like right here. It is the bottom of the boat, obviously, where the keel is. Just get this all nice and coated, so it's gonna be nice and secured now.
So what's the purpose of this again?
So there's balsa core, like most boats would have in their deck, is in our hull to keep it stiffer and lighter. But if water were to get in here, it would basically be boat destroying. Like if we had a rotten core, there'd be no more strength in our boat. So, the windiest of days do this core.
So this is the
thickening agent, silica. Make it like a peanut butter consistency.
This table is where all the magic happens.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that down, Demetrius. I don't know what we would have been doing, sitting on the floor. Like animals. We're gonna come back and clean this up with a hole saw when we're done.
So this hole is for what?
This is gonna be for our depth transducer, depth and water speed.
All right, here's what we got.
Left the canvas appointment and I don't know why, but I swear of all the countries I've ever been to, Mexico has the cutest dogs.
All the dead cat.
Oh, bye, buddy.
All right, Demetrius is doing the honors and pulling the tape on old Big Delos here. Spread fluidity out here. Paint line just doing it so good.
You guys did a great job.
It takes the right person to pull tape. Not everybody can pull tape. Demetrius, he's a professional tape puller.
Where did we go wrong here? This tape has been on since September, and now it's really, really baked on there in the sun. This is not the money shot because we left the tape on too long, and it's not pulling off. So we have one layer of new tape, but we have to get all this old glue that's been on since September. So. So we're gonna redo the tape and get this off so we can give you guys the proper ASMR where you pull the tape on the painter line. But this is not what it's supposed to look like after you pull the tape. Whoopsies! This is so annoying.